श्री कृष्ण गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। एवं हर्ष विषाद वर्जितस्य विवेकजा प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता भवति। He who does not lose his balance on account of joys and sorrows, his wisdom does not get corrupted, does not get influenced. Further, verse 58, यदा संहरते चायम् कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। यदा संहरते सम्यक उपसंहरते, when one is able to completely and without any effort, two things. Samharate means complete withdrawal and samharate means effortless withdrawal. Yada samharate ayam jnananishthayam pravruttaha yati. This seeker who is seeking the knowledge of the self, this yati, the one who is seeking, kurmaha angani iva sarvashaha indriyani indriyarthebhyaha. Like the kurma, the tortoise, is able to withdraw all his limbs. How many limbs the tortoise have which come out? 6 of them. 4 legs, 1 head and 1 tail. So the 5 sense organs and 6 the mind. So he who is able to withdraw all his faculties completely and without any effort, like the tortoise pulls inside all his appendages. And how this tortoise pulls in? यथा कुर्मः भयात् स्वानि अंगानि उपसंहरति. The tortoise withdraws from the outside out of fear. When some danger approaches, this tortoise doesn't run away. He simply withdraws inside. In the same manner, when the world is full of temptations, worldly things, good and bad, that time we don't have to run away from where we are. Please understand this. Then what is that? Become introvert, like the tortoise. Meaning, never fight with the world for anything. The tortoise doesn't fight. He just withdraws himself. Because our concern is our spiritual unfoldment. In this world, we have only this purpose. So, indriyani indriyarthebhyaha, senses from their respective fields, sarva vishayebhyaha upasamharate. Tada tasya prajna pratishtita iti uktartham vakyam. Then it is said that his wisdom is steady. Because when somebody abuses you, so that time there are 2 options. Like one Mahatma went to a place to take the bhiksha afternoon, and a trainee disciple was also with him. So when he went, that shopkeeper gave him Gali Sahasranam, 1000 abuses. Useless people, because of you people like you, our country is going to dark. And his Mahatma was quietly listening every word that was uttered. And thereafter, that fellow said, "You have no shame, simply standing. I am exhausted of my stock of evidence." And he left. Then this Mahatma also, he left. So the disciple was there. He said to the Mahatma, "Sir, if you allow me, I will go and return whatever he has given us with interest." So Mahatma said, "Yes, you should not keep anything with you. You must return if you have taken. I have not taken. If you have taken, you must return. Go." See how simple it is. Somebody may abuse you, but do you receive the abuse? That is important. It is something like, sometimes I get phones. And people who speak on the phone, they speak as if they are talking to somebody in Patal Lok. Very loudly and shirking voice. So if you keep it nearer, it is so hurting. So what you do? I keep it there. And only at the time I do, I say, and again I keep away. But there is nothing that you can listen. Same thing, husband is dying, wife is dying. How long will you listen? So in between whom? That's enough. So what can be done? God's will, take it lightly, over. Don't get carried away. This is very, very important. Meaning what? How he responds to the world, he does not react. This is the meaning. What was the question? Arjuna's question, Kim Prabhasheta? He does not react. And he does not run away from the challenges of life. These two things are put together in this 56, 57, then 58th verse. So, now this example given, that is of the limbs of the tortoise, what this example tells? Two major things. One is complete withdrawal and second is effortless withdrawal. When there is completeness and effortlessness, then alone we have full control. Otherwise, again and again the same thought comes up in our mind. But why did you say like that? Anyway, I should not think about it. Again, but why did you say that? Again, you goes on and on and on and the same thing. So, there are no efforts for him. Tatra vishayan anaharataha aturasyapi indriyani nivartate kurbangani eva samriyate natu tad vishayaha ragaha saha katham samriyate iti uchyate. Now, one can withdraw from the worldly objects under two conditions. First, you insist, I am not going to take sweets. So, anaharataha, by the strength of willpower, refuse. And second is aturasya, because you are ill. So when you are ill, I don't feel like eating anything. But take at least sweets. No, don't talk to me about eating. So under these two conditions, we withdraw from the worldly objects, naturally like the kurmunganiva. Now, natu tad vishayaha ragaha samhriyate. But the longing, taste, liking for that particular worldly object is still kept alive in the mind. That is not removed. And therefore, katham saha samhriyate, how even this longing taste, lingering taste, is that also fully removed by this wise man. This is said in the 59th verse. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Niraharasya dehinaha, the one dehi, so niraharasya dehina, the one who is nirahara, who has decided not to indulge in the worldly objects. And this decision is on two accounts. One is the willpower, second is the ill health. Then how the withdrawal is rasavarjam. Rasa, the taste, is still there lingering in the mind. And then rasa also, rasaha api param društva nivartate. And that longing taste also is withdrawn completely when the absolute is recognized. This is the simple translation. Now what Bhagavan Shankara has to say, यद्यपि विषय उपलक्षितानि विषय शब्द वाच्यानि इंद्रियाणि अथवा, so Vishaya here, the word Vishaya means the sense organs, not the sense objects, because it is lakshitani, Vishaya upalakshitani. When you talk about the colors and forms, you mean eyes. That's what, when we say, I have seen such a beautiful music was going on. No, music is not seen, sir. Music is heard. So there, when we say, I have seen wonderful music was going on, that means, seen means heard. Here also. Yadyapi Vishaya upalakshitani Vishaya shabda vachyani indriyani. So by the word Vishaya means sense organs. Vinivartante. They are fully withdrawn from their respective objects. For niraharasya, he who has abstained from indulgence. So, Vishaya eva niraharasya, or you can take a simple meaning, the sense objects. If you do not want to struggle, take objects, sense objects. So either you say that the senses are withdrawn from the worldly objects, or the worldly objects are thrown away from the senses. Meaning is the same. So, atva vishaya eva niraharasya anahriyamana vishayasya kashte tapasi stitasya murkhasya api. Anahriyamana vishayasya, the one who has decided to keep away from the worldly objects. Under what condition? Kashta. When you don't get anything to eat, then you say, now today is my Ekadashi. Why? Nothing to eat. So make that nothing to eat as Ekadashi. Or tapasi, or you are doing tapasya. Agre vanni prushte bhano ratro jubhuka samarpita jano. Or tapasi stitasya, or murkhasya api. Or a dull-witted one also, he will also do this kind of nirahara. Like, there are many people who have, spirituality means not taking food. One Mahatmaji asked me, Swamiji, I am unable to decide what sampradaya you belong to. I said, why? He said, you talk about Krishna, you talk about Vedanta, you talk about yoga, you talk about Tantra. Actually, which sampradaya you belong? I said, what do you mean by sampradaya? Please explain me. He said, see, for example, Vaishnavas, they don't take food on Ekadashi like that. I said, oh, that sampradaya? Yes. My sampradaya is keep the stomach full and head empty. This is my sampradaya. So we get lost only in this thing, khana or not khana. So, murkhasya api vinivartante dehinaha dehavataha. So, then rasavarjam, rasa rago vishayeshu yaha tam varjayitva. But the rasa, the raga, the taste for those objects is still lingering in their mind. And वर्जित्वा रस शब्द रागे प्रसिद्ध स्वरसेन प्रवृत्तः रसिको रसज्ञः इत्यादि दर्शनात्. So it is said that in some reference he has given sarasvena pravruttah rasikah rasajnah, that one Mr. Swarasen, he was a great rasajna. Rasajna means the one who is able to enjoy every moment of some music, etc. See, when we are talking about rasa, rasa is that inner taste in our mind for any object that we have tasted. So, rasavarjam rasopyasya. So, if we have tasted something, then that taste remains in our mind. It is something like this. Once I was in Arunachal Pradesh, and there those girls in a hostel, they used to eat only khichdi. I was to surprise, these girls must have one over their tongue. I also had a notion that I have conquered my tongue. And when I went there, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything, khichdi, I was so disgusted that how these children must be eating this. Then one day in Satsang, I asked this question. I said, hey, how many of you have gone outside this place? A few girls raised their hands. It's very good. Now tell me, what is that you want to eat if a choice is given to you? One girl said, Rasgulla. She must have gone to Calcutta. Other said, dosha. The third said, sambar vada. The fourth said, this chole bhature. Fifth said, dahi vada. I said, Arey, none of you are telling khichdi. Khichdi we will never eat in our life. So, only once or twice they must have eaten that thing when they went on a picnic or something. But that taste is still lingering in the mind. So we may keep away from the worldly objects, but the taste is still there. So, rasavarjam, vishayeshu rago tam varjayitva. Now, sir, rasaha api ranjana rupaha sukshmaha. And this rasa is extremely subtle. Extremely subtle. So, atyanta sukshmaha yasya yatehe param paramatma tattva brahma drishtva upalabhya aham eva tad iti vartamanasya. So, even that taste is given up because he who has discovered the paramartha tattva, the bliss of absolute being. You know what happens? When we have not discovered something higher, we go on hanging to something lower as the ultimate. One or two examples I'll give. One example. There was a time when I used to get a lot of snail mail by post. Now the post mail is almost disappearing. So, in that mail, lot of stamps will come. So I used to cut those stamps and put them together. There are many children who are very fond of collecting stamps. And one child I knew very much fond of that. So I collected the whole bunch. And I went to their house for breakfast. And then I said, hey, something specially for you. What is that? I gave the whole bunch of stamps. He just forgot everything, went to his room and counted how many stamps each type, all completing was. He says, Swamiji, how can you give all such rare stamps to me? I say, why not? Do you know how valuable they are? I can exchange this stamp with that. He was lost in the stampede area. He was lost in stampede. And his surprise was that Swamiji is so great, he has given such an important thing in the world. Now for me it is a kachra. Nothing important about it. In the same manner, He who has tasted the bliss of the Absolute, for him the worldly things can never attract their mind. Another example that comes in the life of one great disciple of Ramanujacharya. He was so much infatuated to a prostitute. She was very beautiful looking. And he used to walk keeping the umbrella on their head face to face. So she is walking in front, he is walking back like that. So somebody showed it to Ramanujacharya ji. See how much he is lost in that girl. He said, you call her here, call him here. So he went. And he said, why are you so much interested in that lady? He said, look here, if there is something more beautiful than her, then I will leave her. He said, okay, come in the evening for darshan. And when the arti was done, and in that great devotion by the grace of the Lord, that person had the vision of Lord Narayana. And once only for a fraction of a second he had the vision. Thereafter he never returned back to that lady. Because param društva nivartate. As long as we have not seen something higher, we keep on holding to the lower in this world. That's why, those people who are not ready for change, they cannot grow ahead. They remain stagnated there itself. You will see all those people who have left their home place, home state, they alone progress perfectly well. And those who are lost only in the security, they cannot go anywhere. So here also, if we are lost in getting happiness only from the worldly objects, we can never think of something higher. And that param api, and that rasaha api param društva nivartate. So, saha api ranjana rupaha sukshma yasya yadehe param paramartha tattvam brahma drushta upalabhya aham eva tat iti vartamanasya nivartate nirbijam vishaya vijnanam sampadyate ityartha. Nirbija vishaya vijnanam means he is able to see the world, but the world does not leave any impression on his mind. No bija is created, no impression is created. Nirbija vijnanam sampadyate na asati samyak darshane rasasya uchchedaha tasmad samyak darshanatmikayaha pradnyayaha stairyam kartavyam iti abhiprayaha. Therefore, na asati samyak darshane rasasya uchchedaha. So unless we go beyond these temporary temptations of the world, this rasa uchcheda, longing for this, will not be given up. And therefore, samyak darshanatmikayaha pradnyayaha stairyam prayatna kartavyaha. Therefore, one should put effort not only in the mechanical vairagya from the world, but discovering the inner bliss. Now you remember these two principles I have been telling you again and again. Meditation has two limbs. One is control over matter. Second is recognizing the consciousness. So recognizing the consciousness will take away the remaining rasa in the worldly things. Then the worldly things make no difference, because you have discovered something higher. Now take our daily example. When we are overpowered by the sleep, and suppose you are watching cricket match or TV or anything, but when you are overpowered by the sleep, everything is given up because higher pull. And what is there in the deep sleep? Nothing but unsullied, unqualified happiness. Therefore, if this intense pull for the deep sleep is so much attracting us because we have tasted the bliss. Now those masters who have tasted the bliss of this absolute being, for them, how can there be any taste left in the worldly objects? Therefore, rasavarjam rasopyasya param društva nivartate. So, Kim Prabhasheta, how does he react or how does he respond? He responds in such a manner that he is withdrawn from the world or he is not withdrawn from the world. But world is having no freedom to create any impact on his mind. Now, on the basis of this verse, you can compare it with our Bhagavan Shankaracharya's composition, where he says, Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihinaha yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati anandati eva, and this is rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Therefore, it is necessary that we definitely practice self-control, vairagya is all necessary. There is no second opinion about it. But that alone is not everything. And whenever we emphasize only one-sidedness, then we are lost. Therefore, and this one-sidedness emphasis is with, for example, take medicine. Now, some people feel that I never take allopathy. That means somebody is taking allopathy, is it bad or what? Or the other one, I take only homeopathy. Third one, I take only naturopathy. Question is not what pathy you take. Question is, are you healthy or not? That should be the goal. In the same manner, here our attention is on the bliss within. And then once you have discovered the bliss within, your play in the outer world will be for the sake of the play. It will never enslave you. This is the meaning. So, samyak darshana lakshana prajna stairyam chikirshita adau indriyani svavashe sthapaitavyani yasmad tad anavasthapane dosham aha. Now, if this has to be achieved, what is the foundation? Now, the third question was Kimasita, how he is able to move in this world, or rather not move in this, how he is able to respond to this world which is so different. What is the foundation? The foundation is given now from 68th verse onward. What is said? Samyak darshana lakshana prajna stairyam chikirchata. Those who are desirous of the stability in their wisdom born out of the recognition of the absolute reality, what adau in the beginning, indriyani svavashe sthapaitavyani. First step is they have to control their faculties. Yasmad, this being so, tad anavasthapane doshamaha. If you do not practice control of your senses, etc., then what happens? That dosha, blemish, is said in the 60th verse. Yatato yapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. He kaunteya yatataha vipaschitaha purushasya api indriyani pramathini manaha prasabham haranti. What is said? Yatataha prayatnam kurvataha. The one who is putting forward sincere efforts to get established in the sthita prajna, to get established in the wisdom which will not be corrupted by anything in this world, such a sincere seeker, yatataha api prayatnam kurvataha api yasmad kaunteya he kunti putra purushasya vipaschitaha medhavinaha api iti vyavahitena. In this manner you have to understand. So, vipaschitaha purushasya, even a person is very intelligent, well studied, well read, etc. Indriyani pramathini, pramathana shilani, vishayabhimukham hi purusham vikshobhayanti, akuli kurvanti. The senses are such that they drag this person, even with all knowledge and wisdom, towards the worldly objects. Vishayabhimukham vikshobhayanti. The moment some kind of worldly object temptations come in front of them, the senses take him for a ride. Akuli kurvanti. Now, akuli krutya cha haranti prasabham prasaya prakasham eva pashyataha viveka vijnana yuktam manaha. So, akuli krutya cha, having made the victim of these uncontrolled senses, then haranti prasabham manaha. Prasabham means what? Prasaya prakasham eva pashyataha viveka vijnana yuktam. That mind which has all the knowledge. There is nothing lacking in knowledge. This is what Arjuna asked a question. Athakena prayuktoyam papam jarati purushaha anichannapi vashnaya baladiva niyojitaha. Prompted by what the mind is or a person is engaged in the wrong activities. This is the thing. Because one is the slave of the senses. And therefore, to come to the foundation of kimasita, if we want to see that the whole world come and bombard on you, but you will not get disturbed. If that foundation you want to lay, the first step is control your faculties with complete control. No option is given. This being so, yataha tasmat tani sarvani sayyamya yukta asita matparaha vashehi yassendriyani tasya prajna pratisthita. Tani sarvani sayyamya, tani sarvani indriyani. All those faculties, senses, sayyamya, sayyamanam vashikaranam krutva. So, controlling all the senses completely, vashikaranam krutva, then yuktaha samahitasan, and thereby totally withdrawn, no more slave of the sense organs, and thus controlling the mind also, samahitahasan, asita matparaha. And then he is firmly rooted in me. Matparaha. Firmly rooted in me, how? Paraha. For him, other than me, there is nothing higher. Matparaha. So for him, the Paramatma is alone the highest, and when you are surrendering to the highest, the lowest will automatically get dropped. So when you go to the third step, second step is already left behind. When you are on the 10th step, all the 9 steps below are already left in the same manner. When the purpose, the goal of your life is something higher, then alone you will live the lower kind of life. So yukta asita matparaha, matparaha aham vasudevaha sarva pratyagatma paro yasya sa matparaha na anyaha aham tasmad iti asita ityartaha. So his firm abidance is that this Parabrahma Paramatma, here referred to as Bhagavan Sri Krishna, is none other than my own self. In this manner, getting established in this non-dual reality, when this becomes the goal of your life, you will automatically be self-controlled. This is the meaning. So what is the foundation now? Foundation is higher the goal, lesser are the problems of the lower world. This is the foundation. Yukta asita matparaha. That is why when our goal is, like that example I gave you about the dog. Once a dog decided to go from Delhi to Mathura, and then he calculated so much time, so much distance, I think it will take 7 days. And then I'll go first day, halt in such place, take a rest, next day go halt in second place, and in this manner. And when he reached first place, there were local dogs available. The local dogs started fighting with this fellow. So now there is the option, fight out or run away. So he put down his antenna and started running from that village. Went to the next one. Here I will take rest. But there the same thing repeated. And in this manner, the distance which he thought of covering in 7 days, he covered in 2 days. Because he was dedicated to the goal of reaching Mathura. In the same manner, when our goal is firmly recognized in our heart, all your sadhana will start automatically happening. See? Can you imagine these models who are all the time catty, walking on the catwalk? Are they to be told about their diet? No. Even if you give them, they will not eat, because their goal is they want to look eternally young. The moment the goal is there, automatically withdrawal from the excessive eating is taken care of. There are 2 sisters, like Laurel and Hardy. One sister is round, other one is straight. Now the straight sister is so cranky because she will not eat because of the figure. All the time concerned only about the figure. And the other one, she is happy-go-lucky. She eats and enjoys everything and round. So the straight one tells, why don't you control your eating? See how fat you are becoming. And she says, why don't you control your anger? See how cranky you are becoming. See, I am so happy. Now what is important in life is whether you are happy or miserable. So I had directly attacked the happiness, and you are only attacking the figure. Once the goal of your life is clear, everything starts happening properly. This is the foundation. So, vashihi yasyendriyani. So once your goal is higher, automatically your senses become controlled, and such a person alone has steady wisdom, because he has never forgotten. See, this word you have heard for 100 times, and I explained you also, nididhyasan. Nididhyasan is not meditation. Samadhi is meditation. Nididhyasan is never forgetting the goal of your life even one moment. Nididhyasana. Lage raho, constantly employed for that only, nothing else. That is called as the nididhyasana. Didhyasa is longing. Nididhyasana is intense longing, continuous longing. And when that intense and continuous longing is there, then what will happen? Then you will automatically know how to do meditation, where to go, whom from to learn, what are the things to be studied, what is to be avoided. Everything will fall in right place, provided we have that yukta asita matparaha. Atha idanim para bhavishyataha sarvanartha moolam idam uchyate. Now, atha idanim, now, para bhavishyataha sarva anartha moolam idam uchyate. Now, what are the extrovert lower ladder that destroys us from our present status of goodness? What is that because of which we get destroyed? This is adapatana. Ada is below, patana falling. What is that? We fall in our life. There are 8 steps. Through these 8 steps we fall in life. Which are those? Dhyayato vishayan punsaha. Sangasteshu pajayate. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Kamat krodho bhijayate. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Smriti bhramshat buddhinasho. Buddhinashat pranashyati. These two verses give 8 steps through which we systematically fall. We'll take Shankara's commentary a little later, understand these 8 steps of fall. First, pumsaha vishayan dhyayataha teshu sangaha upajayate. So first step is vishayan dhyayataha. When you go on thinking about something again and again and again, then teshu sangaha upajayate, second step. You get attracted, attached towards that object of contemplation. Third, sangat sanjayate kamaha. Intense contemplation about anything is called as desire. So, sangat sanjayate kamaha. And then kamat krodho vijayate. And when the desire is there, now desire has got two options. Either the desire is fulfilled or the desire is not fulfilled. When the desire is not fulfilled, towards that cause, reaction is called as anger. So, perverted, unfulfilled desire reflects in our mind as anger. Or the second option for the desire is, the desires are fulfilled. So when one desire is fulfilled, we want second desire to be fulfilled. When second is fulfilled, we want third desire to be fulfilled. And in this manner, we become greedy, lobha. And when the greed increases or anger increases, both of them, krodhat bhavati sammohaha. The fifth step is that out of the krodha or the greed, lobha, sammohaha, one is deluded. And when one is under delusion, then sammoha smriti vibhravaha. Then from the delusion, one forgets the sense of proportion. Who we are, where we are, what kind of language we are using, everything is forgotten. What is the goal of our coming in this world, in this place? Smriti vibhramaha. And smriti bhramshat buddhi nashaha. When the memory does not function, one has destroyed himself. The intellect has become paralyzed. And buddhi nashat pranashyati, where the understanding, wisdom is discarded, buddhi nashat pranashyati, one is no more living as a human being. We are human being because of the reason, understanding, wisdom. If that is gone, pranashyati, we are already destroyed. There is no further destruction remaining. So these are the 8 steps. First is dhyayato vishayan, second is sangaste shupajayate, third is sanga sanjayate kamaha, fourth is krodho vijayate, fifth is sammohaha, sixth is smriti vibhramaha, seventh is buddhinashaha, and eighth is buddhinashat pranashyati. These are the 8 steps. Bhagwan Shankaracharya says, dhyayataha chintayataha. Dhyana means what? When you think about something, that is called as dhyana. Chintayataha vishayan, shabdadi vishaya visheshan, alochayataha. So when you go on thinking, arguing, discussing, like you must have seen, when a poor middle class person does not have sufficient money to buy, let us take a TV. So what he tells his children, I don't like TV. By TV people get spoiled. Nobody should see TV. What is there to see? All dirty things are going on. We have to maintain our Sanskriti, our culture. This is the cultural invasion. And when his lecture begins, the children say, Papa, don't give lecture. And then he gets a bonus or somewhere money from above or below. And when he gets that money, then now he can afford Now again he started about the same TV. Earlier it was never seen. Now newspaper he opens, he sees the TV advertisement. Hoardings, he sees the TV advertisement. And finally one day he steps into a TV shop and buys one TV and comes home to give a surprise to the children. And the children said, "Why did you bring this brand? This is useless, this is outdated. You should have brought this brand." And he was disgusted. So, dhyayataha, when you go on thinking, contemplating vishayan, then sangaha teshu upajayate. The second step is sanga. So, alochayataha pumsaha purushasya sangaha asakti priti. The asakti priti, the love for that worldly object begins. Teshu visheshu upajayate is naturally the outcome. Third, sangat pritehe sanjayate sammupadyate kamaha trishna. And when you love something, you desire that thing. So, kamaha trishna. Then kamat kutaschit pratihatat krodhaha vijayate. And when our desire is not fulfilled because of something or somebody, then the same desire is reflected as anger. And krodhat bhavati sammohaha avivekaha karya karya vishayaha. And when one is angry, all the sense of proportion is lost. Avivekaha karya karya vishayaha. What should be done, what should not be done, everything is lost. One doesn't understand anything because of this delusion. And this, because of this, krodhat bhavati sammohaha. And kruddho hi, about the anger he tells. See how important this is. Kruddha hi sammudaha san gurum api akroshati. If for Bhagavan Shankaracharya, there is the highest insult. Therefore, in the traditional way, if you go to the south, when the people talk to us, you know how they talk? They will keep their hand on their mouth. "Swamiji, will you like to take a cup of tea or what? I want you to remove your hand from your mouth." Why this thing? No. You should not directly talk to the great Mahatmas. Therefore, put the... Or maybe you have eaten something and it may just come out. Or maybe you are smoking too much, the smell may come out, whatever reason. So, that kind of maryada is to be kept. But here, kruddhaha sammudaha san gurum api akroshati. He even shouts at the Guru. And sammoha smriti vibramaha. Smriti vibramaha shastra acharya upadesha upadeshahita samskara janitayaha smritehe syat sambramaha. All what is studied, what is understood, what is practiced for many, many years is suddenly vibramaha, bhramshaha, smriti utpatti nimitta prapto anutpatti. Where it is required to be remembered, that time we don't remember. Because of this disturbance, because of this moha, smriti vibramaha. I remember once I was in Delhi, and probably my health was extremely bad that time. I never realized. One very peculiar thing, I never remembered to drink water. And in the summer months, it becomes sometimes so difficult. I suffer, but never take a glass of water. So the same thing happened there. And because of that, dehydration or whatever it is, in my lecture, as usual, I started akhanda vandalakaram vyaptan, and then nothing I could remember, total blank. I said, "Hey, what happened? This verse I have been chanting for years together, what happened?" And then when I started talking, nothing could be said. I am reading something and words are running here and there and nothing is happening. Finally we cancelled that class. And then they told Swamiji, You are completely dehydrated and take some water, this thing, that thing, and don't take any class for 2-3 days. Imagine if physical weakness makes this thing, mental weakness makes still worse. Therefore, here, smrutehe vibramaha syat bhramshaha smruti utpatta nimattau praptau anutpattihi. When required, you don't remember anything. This happens with the children, when they go to the examination, excited, frustrated, and suddenly, I don't know, Swamiji, what happened? There was a blackout. So before examination we remember, after examination we remember, but during examination blackout. Now, tataha smriti bhramshat buddhihe nashaha. That smriti bhramsha, inability to remember your knowledge, is called as buddhehe nashaha, destruction of the understanding. Karya akarya vishaya viveka yogyata antakkaranasya buddhehe nashaha uchyate. What is the meaning of the destruction of the buddhi? Karya akarya viveka ayogyata. When we are not able to discriminate what should be done, what should not be done, that is called as the destruction of the intellect. Because the purpose of intellect is discrimination. And if we are not able to discriminate what should be done and what should not be done, what is the use of such a furniture? When this happens, when you become too much dependent on the world, then this happens. One wife was telling me about her husband. She says, Swamiji, I am so fed up of my husband. I said, everybody is fed up, Baba. You are not only one. All wives are fed up of husband. Talk some other topic. I said, no, I'll tell you why I am fed up. I said, what is the glory of getting fed up? No, listen. I said, all right. She was fed up. I said, does he don't love you? No, that's all there. Rather, he overloves me. Okay, then what is the problem? Problem is, everything he asks me. In the morning, when he'll get up, shall I get up now? No, you decide. Shall I get up now means what? And then, shall I go and finish my brush? Yes. And then, shall I go and finish my toilet? Yes. Then, shall I do dadi today? Like that, she said, he goes on asking everything. When he is to go and put on clothes, he will call, hey, come here, what? Now, which shirt I should put on? She said, I feel pity on him, and he does it every day, the same thing. This is called a buddhi nashaha. I thought, you decide. Can't you decide what you have to do? Now, when you can't decide about what clothes you have to put on, how will you take big decisions in life? Therefore, karya akarya vishaya viveka ayogyataha antakkaranasya buddhehe nashaha uchyate. Buddhi nashat pranashati. And tavat evahi purushaha yavat antakkaranam tadiyam karya akarya vishaya viveka yogyam tat ayogyatve nashte eva purushaha bhavati. Nashtaha eva purushaha bhavati. So, man is man only as long as his ability to lead a life with discrimination and understanding is intact. And if that is destroyed, then purushaha nashtaha eva bhavati. Then he is already destroyed. There is nothing that we can call him a human being. He is just a furniture. So, नष्टे एव पुरुषो भवति अतः तस्य अंतःकरणस्य बुद्धिः नाशात् प्रणश्यति पुरुषार्थ अयोग्यो भवति इत्यर्थः. And therefore he is not fit now for anything. Neither he is fit for earning money, nor he is fit for enjoying life, nor he is fit for doing any dharma, nor he is fit for realization. Because the intellect has become dull. What is to be done, what is not to be done. This is one very important, We are unable to understand because of this lack of discrimination. One or two examples I'll give. See what happens. when we are unable to understand with alertness, many a times we impose ourselves on others beyond proportion. And when the others have to tell us, one example I'll give you. There used to be one person, recently it happened somewhere, and there was a lot of lectures that day somewhere, and I was extremely exhausted to such an extent that I was not able to even see the things properly. Eyes were rolling like this. And this person on and on and on. Swamiji, I shall do your bag, this thing, that thing. I said, will you please get out of my room instantaneously or I push you out? So he looked at me. Swamiji, okay, and ran. And I just closed the door and just slept like a wooden log. Next day he came, Swamiji, I irritated you yesterday. I said, what happened? He said, what happened? You banged me out of the room. I said, then you must have done something wrong. I don't know. Now this much alertness we must have. Where we are, what we are, we cannot go on imposing ourselves on others. And that is why we become unwanted. This one very clearly should understand. Like, one person asked me this question, Swamiji, wherever you go, you are so much respected and received with great honor. What is the secret? Tell us also. As a secret is, before I reach there, they know my date of departure. That is why as the date of departure comes nearer, they become more and more happy. Because anyway tomorrow is going. This is called as common sense. Here we call it as the karya akarya viveka vishaya viveka yogyata. See, big word. But what is meant is this. We should know what is to be done, what is not to be done, where to go, where not to go, what are the topics that should be discussed, what that should not be discussed, what are the things which should be told to whom. All these things are the expression of this subtle understanding, Sthita Prajna Purusha. So, Purushartha ayogyo bhavati ityarthaha. Therefore, many people have this problem. They are very good, they are very sincere. There is nothing wrong in them as their sincerity is concerned. But they lack this faculty. And therefore, they get kicked. Many times they tell us, people come and tell us, Swamiji, I do not know why, but nobody wants me, everybody keeps me away. I feel very lonely. And therefore I have come to you. At least you don't throw me away. I said, no, tomorrow I am going. I don't have to do that. But why this thing happens, this is one of the reasons. One should have that common understanding. For example, if you are with the small kids, now that time don't bring Brahman. You play with them the wonderful games and enjoy. Or if somebody is taking food, so let him enjoy, you also join if you like. Otherwise, suppose somebody is taking food. It happened once, Bengalis eat non-vegetarian. So I was taking vegetarian and the son came and sat with chicken next to me. Mother was very angry. I said, Amma, don't get angry. He is not asking me to eat. Why are you worried? So once you are balanced, then nothing in this world will disturb you. And then we understand, suppose that person is eating non-vegetarian. And I make a statement like this thing. These non-vegetarians are the mobile graves of the animals. How disgusting it is. If you don't want to eat, you don't eat. But you have no business to comment and condemn on somebody else's eating habits. No. Therefore, it is very important that we must have that viveka discrimination, karya akarya viveka yogyata. Now, sarvanarthasya moolam uktam vishaya abhidhyanam atha idanim moksha karanam uchyate. Sarva anarthasya moolam uktam. The root cause of all the fall in our life is already said in the last two verses. Now, moksha karanam idam uchyate. Now Bhagavan will tell us what is that which will lead us to the liberation from the relative existence and discover the absolute bliss. This will be said in the next verse. Ragadvesha viyuktaistu Vishayanindriyaischaran Atmavasyairvidheyatma Prasadamadigaccati. So, pranashyati and adhigacchati prasadam. These two, see, opposite pictures. So, ragadvesha viyuktaihi, ragascha dveshascha ragadveshau. So, this is ragadveshau. Then, tat purassara hi indriyanam pravritti swabhaviki. So, the influence of the likes and dislikes is responsible for our senses getting involved in the respective objects. When I like a particular color, so naturally I will go in for that. When I like a particular sweet, naturally I will go in for that. When I don't like something, naturally I will avoid that. So all our living is prompted by the likes and dislikes. So, ragadveshau tat purusara hi indriyanam pravritti hi swabhaviki, and this is natural. Further, tatra yo mumukshuhu bhavati sa tabhyam yuktaihi shrotradibihi indriyahi vishayan avarjaniyan charan upalabhamanaha Atmavashyahi atmanovashyani vashibhutani taihi atmavashyahi vidheyatma ichchataha vidheyatma antakaranyasya saha ayam prasadam adhigacchati prasadaha prasannada swasthyam. Now, tatra, in this condition, what is the condition? All our activities in the world are the reflection of our inherent likes and dislikes. Now, in this being the condition, yo mumukshu, the one who is the seeker of the truth, bhavati, he who has decided to walk the spiritual path, what is this? Tabhyam yuktaihi shotradibihi indriyahi vishayan. So, when he is coming in contact with the various sense objects, with the respective sense organs, avarjaniyan, and that which cannot be given up, or that which cannot be got, both the ways. Avarjaniyan charan upalabhamanaha. So whatever comes in front of him, whether he likes them or he doesn't like them, atmavashyahi indriyahi. But now his senses are under his control. So there is a liking in the mind for the sweets. Sweets are available, nobody is watching. Nobody can stop from eating. But Atmavashyahi, he has full control over sense organs. No means no. Sa prasadam adhigacchati, he attains the peace within. Now see, you must have tried it. If you learn, then you are really a sincere seeker. If you don't learn from your own life's experiences, nobody can teach you. See, once I decided to take one meal a day. Because tapasya, you should not eat too much. Lagvashi, vivikta sevi, lagvashi. Lagvashi means eating little bit. So I said, okay, I'll take only one meal. So for 3 years I did this experiment. And in these 3 years, other than eating, I did nothing. You know why? One meal a day. So last 24 hours I have not eaten. Go on eating. Next 24 hours I am not going to get anything to eat. Again eat. and eat so much. After that, you can do nothing. And going on and on and on. And one day, I was just thinking, hey, what I am doing? What is gained by this foolishness? That day I came to this conclusion, that food, if it is in the stomach, it is natural. If it is in the head, it is unnatural. So when you observe fast, you think about food. Therefore, this is what is said. Raga dvesha, yes, it will be there. But it is our choice. Raga dvesha viyuktaihi. He is not allowing the personal likes and dislikes to influence the performance of the senses. Because Atmavashyahi, he has kept all the senses under his control. You know, on all the Bhagavad Gita books, there is that picture, famous picture, Bhagavan Sri Krishna and Arjuna and the horses and the chariot. And we have seen this picture where? In Kathopanishad. Atmanam rathinam viddhi shariram rathamevatu indriyani hayanahu and manapragrahavan. So, the senses are the horses, the body is the chariot, the jiva is the rathi, the intellect is the sarathi, and the mind is the reins. And the sense objects are the roads on which the indriyas run. So he who has full control over the horses, meaning the senses, he alone can lead a spiritual life. Otherwise, life goes only in that small eating. Therefore, eating means one example, but there are many things. We are obsessed with the sense objects. So, Atmavashyahi Vidheya Atma. Vidheya Atma means Ichchataha Vidheya Atma Antakarana Yasya Sa. He who has got full control over his mind. Once he has decided this is to be done, it will be done. Not done, not done. There is no second thinking. And such people alone are trusted by the world, Yesterday also I told you there are two things. One is love, second is trust. Love you can anybody, but trust you don't everybody. Why? Because he is himself not steady. It is not his fault, it's not his weakness. He himself is not steady. Because this is how we develop our character. That is why when you decide something, 100% sincerely do that. Slowly you develop that faculty in you. Whatever you think, that starts happening. Whatever you decide, that you are able to do it. And once you go on not doing what you have decided, you develop a personality. I can do nothing in my life. I have decided so many things, I can do nothing. Why? Because you have developed that faculty. This is what Videya Atma, Ichchataha Videya Atma, Antakaranayasya Saha Ayam. Such a seeker, Prasadam Adhigacchati. He attains Prasad. Prasad means what? Prasadaha Prasannata Swasthyam. He attains totally undisturbed bliss, Prasannata. And that is called as Swasthyam. Swasthyam means Swasmin Sthiti. You come back to your own self. And this own self was mentioned in the 59th verse. Rasopyasya param drushtva nivartate. And when you come back to your own self, prasadam adhigacchati, then what happens? In the next verse, the teacher says, prasade sati kim syat iti uchyate. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajayate prasanna chetaso yasho buddhi parjavitishthate. Prasade kim syat, when you get the prasada, prasannata, abidance in the self, then what happens? Sarva dukkhanam hanihi upajayate. All your miseries disappear. And such a person, prasanna chetasaha, he who is ever cheerful and happy, yashu buddhi pari avatishtate. Such a cheerful and happy person alone can think of God, not anybody else. Now you see, so many people come here. Now, what for they come? If you have come for a back pain, anybody you see, even a tree, how to remove this? There is a tree, the tree is, oh, I'm sorry. Because only one single pointed is why wherever something is paining you, hurting you, that alone becomes the pursuit. So you can think about God only under one condition: if you are cheerful and happy, not otherwise. That is why many people, they think, oh, spirituality is a luxury. Why? There are so many problems in the world. So keep on solving them and suffer. So prasanna chetaso yashu buddhi pari avadishtate. Some more aspects and Bhagwan's commentary. We will take it in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.